Assalamu alaikum guys, this is Waqas Ahmed. I'm recording this video for the Kubernetes cloud creation. So I got a couple of messages to guide them to how to create the Kubernetes cloud. So I made a video earlier, if you want to create the cloud, on the virtual machine. So what you can do, you can deploy to virtual machine, 2 or 3 virtual machine based on the requirements. So it should be a Linux virtual machine maybe, or maybe a Linux, but I would prefer the Linux virtual machine. So either you can go for the Red Hat, or you can go for the CentOS. Once you deploy the virtual machine, the next step is configuring the token in the virtual machine and installing the Kubernetes rule. But it's a painful task. I know, like, it takes a lot of effort. Plus, you have to have some knowledge of the Linux machine. A lot of people having some problems to creating the machine. So there is another way. If you really want to call the Kubernetes, if you want to explore the Kubernetes, if you want to see the power of the Kubernetes, and you don't have that much resources, either to install your laptop the virtual machine, or you don't want to go in that kind of tension to install the virtual machine on the on by manually. What you can do, there's a wonderful option. The Google has provided the Kubernetes power on GCP, so you can create your free Google account. You can create your free GCP Google Cloud Platform account. Once you create your free Google Cloud Platform account, it will give you $300 credit. So with that credit, you can, like, it's pretty much like, and it's free for 3 months, and you can play a lot of things. So I'm gonna show you how you can do that thing. So I'm sorry. First of all, okay. So if you want to access the Google Cloud, it's console.cloud.google.com. Once you click that, it will access the Google Cloud. So once you are on the Google Cloud, that this is the first landing page on the Google Cloud you're gonna see once you're logged into the Google Cloud. Also log in. It says I have a free status trial account and I have $298 remaining and remaining days. So guys, like, once you log into the Google Cloud, it will show you the default project, my first project. If you want to stick to the default project, you can, rather you can create the new project from here. Simply, I created this much project. So it's very simple. Like, you will click the create new project. It will ask you the name of the project and create. So the main reason behind creating the project is if you want to manage the resources, like if you want to deploy the Kubernetes engine 3 VMs, which belongs to one team. So I will deploy the project in one deploy all the resources in one project. So it will be easy for me to manage the thing. I will not keep all the things in one project. That's the only reason I created this project. So if my today's goal is to deploy the Kubernetes engine and show you guys how simple it is to deploy the Kubernetes cluster on this Google Cloud platform, and you can just focus on running the Kubernetes command and exploring the product. You don't need to have the tension of the how to deploy the Kubernetes. So it's pretty much simple. You're gonna go for the Kubernetes engine. You will go to the cluster. Okay, so it's only clear few clicks. So it says, okay, welcome to the cluster page, and you want to create the cluster. I said, okay, yeah, create my cluster. So it says, okay, I'm creating a cluster, give me a few seconds. So now it asking, so it asks, first of all, it's asking the name of the cluster. So I can say, okay, give it like Kubernetes cluster. That's the name. It's an option, whatever you want to give. So that's the name of my cluster. Either you want to location is regional. So if I said regional, what it does, it will ask me to select one region, and in one region, like, there are minimum 3 to 4 data centers. So it will deploy the nodes in all the data center. I can do that. It's for the disaster recovery process. But since this is a trial account, I don't know, I will go with the zonal approach. Zonal is the one data center. So I said, okay, in East US, whatever the data center it is, deploy my node, worker node here. So the beauty of the Kubernetes cluster is you need to only specify the worker node. Master node is managed by GCP its own. You don't need to manage the master node. So I said, okay, just create the worker node in this cluster, in this zone, and it is the version of master node. Of course, I'm not going to touch the master node. I will keep it default. Number of node, worker node, how much node I want. I want only one node. I can change the pool name. I can also enable the auto scaling. Deploying the maximum minimum number of nodes. I don't want to do that. So if I go to the node, it says the customized operating system. So either you can choose the Ubuntu or Red Hat operating system, or since Kubernetes is a product for Google, so Google have created its own optimized operating system, which is very effective operating system. It's lightweighted. It's especially designed for the Kubernetes. I will stick to this Kubernetes. I can change the size of my node. I can just give two virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM, whatever I want. I will stick the default like 4 GB is okay for me in one shift. I just want to show you this. The boot disk, the hard disk is 100 GB. That's totally fine. Couple of more option, if you are in security, you can just don't give the allow the full access. You can just restrict the resources. And in the networking, either you can just run on the default network. It's pretty much fine. And in my case, I created my own network for Pro, so I'm gonna stick to that for private network. And security, if you are really, you can just explore multiple options here. So let's create. So I just create. Now what GCP is doing on the background? GCP first of all will create my node, physical node. It will be in that zone where I selected use case. So once the node is created, it will run the commands from the Kubernetes master and Kubernetes worker. And it will create the relationship between master and worker. If you want to see like how the things are going on, you can just go to the compute engine, VM instance. Here it will show you like it is currently deploying. It didn't start it yet actually. Once it started to do the things, you will see you will see a VM instance here. Like it says okay, VM has been deployed in that data center, and there's the IP of the VM. So it is still in the deployment phase. Let's go to the Kubernetes again. So either if you want to stick the Kubernetes in the top, so you don't need to scroll again, then I can say what you can do. You can just go there and you can pin the Kubernetes. If I go there, in the Kubernetes, I pin it. It's on the top. I don't need to scroll again. So it's still doing its job. So let's see. It will take a couple of minutes. So let's give it a minute and see what's going to happen. Okay, guys, welcome back. So right now, like you can see, it says that the pod has been deployed. The cluster has been deployed. It says if I go to notification created, and as I showed you earlier, if I go to the compute node, it's gonna show me the node there. See, it deployed a node in US East. It's a physical node which is deployed in the US data center East. So I will go again to the Kubernetes cluster. So it's very simple. Like to connect the Kubernetes center, you're gonna click create. Now you have two options to do that. Sure. Number one, either you can install it's called uh, Google Cloud SDK Windows download. I can go there and I can install the SDK on my Windows. Installing Google Cloud SDK. So you can just go there. You can just downloading. I already downloaded that. If I'm going to show you this, so I downloaded this Google Cloud and just run this. Once you run this, it will open a browser. It will do the authentication, and once you do the authenticate everything, just want to show you this. So your command prompt will directly connect to the G Cloud, and you don't need to go to the web UI again and again. You can just communicate G Cloud with the command prompt. So if I run like G Cloud right now, if you run on this command and your command prompt, it will not work. After running the Google SDK, this command will only work once you become command prompt will be connected to G Cloud. So I will say project list. So this is the command. It shows me all the project. Overcast, overcast, div project, the name of my project, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I do click on show you this, overcast, overcast, all the projects in the group, which means my command prompt directly communicating. So rather you can go, and if you don't want to install the SDK on your virtual machine, on your computer, what you can do, you can just click configure. Okay. Oh, you can just drop in the shell from here, the GCP shell, or you can just simply click on this one, GCP shell. So what it does, it will first provision a shell for you, which is Linux on the back, and it is provisioning a shell for you, where you can run your commands. You don't need to come here again and again. So let it complete. Okay, once it is says your shell has been created, now it copy a command. Gcloud do this from there, and once I click enter, this command will connect my shell to the Kubernetes cluster. Okay, I'm connected to the Kubernetes cluster. So let's see if now I can run the kubectl command, which is my Kubernetes is totally ready. So I'm going to see if something is new in this code. Just want to show you like it's nothing is there. So I just try get code searching, say something code. Okay, no issues found in the default space name. Is there any service? There is only one service which is a default service, other than there is no service. So nothing is there in this code. So we are good. Now if I wanna deploy something, let's go. Okay, I say qctl get deploy, and I want to deploy the web server, my web server, and the image is okay. If you want to get image, you can just go to the hub.docker.com, and plenty of images are there. So I want to shoot. Let's go install Nginx. So we'll go to the Nginx. We'll just copy the name of the and just come here and I'll say this is the image from where I'm deploying. So something like this. On simple like it says deployed. Now if I go to the kubectl get deployed, either you type deploy or deployment, it's the same thing. Okay, it says one is up to date, one is ready. If deployment is ready, if I say show me the code, it says okay because your code is ready and the code is running right now. Yes. Now the problem is if I want to connect the port from here, then I have to expose my deployment to the outside world. Right now my code is ready, my code is running, but it is only accessible within the Kubernetes cluster. So if I want to access the code outside the Kubernetes cluster, I will see kubectl expose deploy. Okay, so you want to expose my deployment, and the name of the deployment is my web. Now the type. So that this is very interesting. So once you are working on any cloud operating system, whether it's in Azure, whether it's on Google, whether it's in EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Services, on AWS, you have to give the type as a load balancer. So what it will does in the background, it will provision a physical load balancer on the service provider, and a physical load balancer, and that physical load balancer is will show okay, hey, I'm there, that's my IP, just send the traffic whenever the outside will send the traffic of the IP on that physical node. That physical node is responsible to redirect the traffic to your port. I'm going to show you this before the port, and the port where the traffic will be directed inside the is port 80. So let me first, before running this command, show you what exactly I'm talking about. So if I go to the network services and load balancer, is there any load balancer right now? Let's see. Right now there is no load balancer, so I can go either from the menu, create load balancer. I don't want to do that, so I just saying expose my deployment, type is a load balancer, and the internal code will be ET internal. And now let's see what's going to happen. It says it is ready, so I will say kubectl get service, or SVC, the both same thing, short form is SVC. Okay, it says pending, which means my Kubernetes load balancer is somewhere deploying. I will reload this page, maybe refresh this page, something in this tab or something. So, wow, see this? On a single click, on one click, it says port is ready. I have deployed a port. Isn't that interesting? So my load balancer is ready. I will again go to my shell. Yeah. Okay, so if I run the same command again, it should show me the physical IP, the public IP, because the load balancer is ready now. Okay, it says here is my public IP. Beautiful. So I just copy this and open it in the browser. It's gonna show me the Nginx code. What I can do, I can go to the Kubernetes engine cluster where my cluster was deployed. Okay, this cluster is running. I can go to the workload, and workload show me what kind of deployment are running. So this is the only one deployment I created in front of you guys. In the services, it will show me the services. So it says external load balancer is running, and that's the same IP 35 to 31 to 28 to 51 488. So if I click this or maybe go to this, it's the same thing. So let me show you. I click this. No problem. I think something. So this in 480. Welcome to the engine. So the code is ready. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is that simple. You can create your own deployment. Thank you, and let me know if you have any question. Just put the comment here.